This is fair. So I suppose it's a good story. Like, I showed up here expecting to stream with you in your office, same the way that we do every week, and not having done this before, I had no idea that us staring at the same camera on the same screen would, like, without looking at each other or looking at each other without being able to look at the camera, would just be completely awkward.
Yeah. And for anyone, the context would be Brett and I would have been standing side by side like this, standing, and then staring at the screen the entire time and never making eye contact with each other, which pretty normal on a Zoom call. We've all gotten used to that post-COVID world where you're just staring at the camera and you see the other person on the screen. But when you're standing next to each other in real life, trying to stare at a screen and talk to each other, it's a whole different world of awkwardness. If you want to feel awkward, try it. It's weird.
We didn't actually try it, but...
I mean, we stood next to each other staring at the screen and talking.
We thought about it.
We didn't turn it on.
But this would be awkward.
I tried it because I wasn't looking at you when I was talking.
That's fair.
But it's not normal. Don't do that for anyone. That's a bad idea.
So anyway, there is and I'm going to forget the Japanese word for it. Gemba, maybe? Probably the wrong one.
Gamba.
Gemba, I believe. Could look it up. It's part of lean.
Is he related to Gumby?
No. But whatever word it is I'm looking for, it means to actually go look at the thing.
Oh, okay.
It's part of lean manufacturing, where, like, they will tell, like, Toyota, for example, would tell newer executives to go stand on the production floor. Like, sometimes they would have, like, a marked out box that they stand in. And they should just stand there for hours, like watching what's going on.
Just to understand it
just
at
so
an intuitive level.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems I have with AI. Is it's got all of this context knowledge across the entire world. The entire internet's been stuffed into their data centers, and yet they have no human experience. And another example is, when was the last time AI experienced the law of gravity?
I don't know that it can, and
it never has.
And even the human experiences it does have through video, they're almost all curated.
Right.
Like, nothing is real, legitimate, or.
Mm-hmm. So for as good as AI is, there's these very human type experiences that we have that are a natural layer of our being that AI can't emulate because it hasn't ever experienced it, and so it's not in its data set.
Well, maybe when the AI robots begin to take over the world, they'll start to get those experiences.
They're working on it.
I know.
Yeah, they're working on it.
I mean, there's some pretty cool ones coming. That China has, like, seen the little one that's, like, supposedly $6,000, does backflips and karate, and can be trained to do all kinds of things just by watching you.
Oh, well, I have kids that do that.
Oh, that's true.
I don't need a robot. I'd much rather have a robot that cleans my house and cooks my food than. No, I'd rather cook. If I had a robot, I think I'd rather cook. Yeah. I enjoy cooking if I have nothing else to do.
Just not the cleanup.
Yeah, so it gets to do the cleanup. That would be fair. I don't even mind shopping sometimes if I have a little bit of spare time and I just get to go out and watch people and see what they're putting in their carts. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
Holy cow. Like, I can imagine that people go home and wonder about their life and what's wrong with their life, but then they never think about it when they're putting the stuff in their cart.
Well, it's like you can, most of the times, like 99 out of 100, I think you can correlate what's in the cart with how the people look.
Oh, absolutely.
But every once in a while you get the one, it's like, wait a second. You don't match. So, like, I know I've done that before. It's like 100%. When I load my cart with, like, root beer and cookies and ice cream and stuff, like, just like all this stuff. It's like, I'm doing it for a party, not for me.
Right.
And people are like,
and you're like, just getting breakfast.
Yep.
We were on this big camping type trip, and there was a number of different people there, and there was this husband and wife, and this guy had biceps bigger than my calf, like bigger than my thighs, massive, and she's a bodybuilder as well, super fit, and that is clearly their identity in life, and yet every morning she'd come out eating a lollipop and drinking a Dr. Pepper before breakfast.
Was it the 0-calorie version?
No, just regular Dr. Pepper, and then like a Tootsie Pop or something. And I'm like, that doesn't add up. Like, this person clearly cared so much about their body, they had to have been in the gym 7 days a week. And yet, there's that Dr. Pepper and the lollipop every day. And she didn't hold back from eating the sweets either throughout the day as well. So, like, I don't know if she was trying to exercise enough that she could justify the habit or what that was.
So I had a bodybuilder that I knew. He claimed he was all natural. Tall guy. He was like 6'5", and like, I don't know, like 260 pounds or something. Just like big person.
Yeah. Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And he told me that after a competition, he turns into Betty Crocker. Like,
well, dude, you can't do that and be all natural. There's some steroids involved.
But like meaning that he starts baking like all kinds of like,
okay.
He bakes pies and cookies and just like,
got it.
like because the diet that they go on beforehand in order to get ready and like lose that last little bit of fat and get like their skin and veins and the skin to be tight, veins to show through and all that stuff is like, like when he comes off that, he's just crazy. So maybe that was the camping trip was these people's break from all that.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. Who knows? That's a good call out. Because it is what they put themselves through is not healthy to look like that.
Not long term, which is why a lot of them they don't hold that. They don't hold that state unless it's for a competition. Yeah,
I knew a bodybuilder as well, and he said he hadn't tasted bread in over 2 years because he was trying to get himself ready for this massive competition, and he couldn't quite get to that point. And so it had been 2 years of him not ever tasting any bread products.
Oh man, that was the hardest part of doing a ketosis diet was the lack of bread for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyway, talking about human experiences and
yeah, but I think it all does tie back into the business world really nicely because these experiences we have give us, and like you said, in lean manufacturing, they make management just go and observe what's going on so that they're absorbing all this data that you could never get on a report or never get in a presentation. It's not going to be the same as someone who's been through the fire.
Yeah, well, I just know, like in my manufacturing companies, walking the floor, it wasn't always just for me. Like sometimes just the employees seeing an owner walking the floor got them to think that, hey, they're paying attention, they're engaged, and
or make them worried if they're
make them worried.
I never know when they're going to come.
All
through
of the
here.
above, but usually like a lot of. Like if I was gone busy doing other things for a week or two, like they would ask me like, well, why aren't you coming out to look around? Because they wanted to show off the stuff that they were building.
Oh wow, okay.
So it was a good like morale boost and culture builder from that standpoint. But plus it let me see what's going on, and I could ask questions if something looked out of place, and then if it was out of place and they didn't know what to do about it, which happened about half the time, I could go and push on some levers and make a change so that they didn't have to deal with whatever issue they were dealing with.
Yeah, I know a farmer, and he says the same thing. He says that as a manager of the farm, he has to be out every day checking on his employees so that they know that, one, he's there for them, but two, he's there making sure that they're doing their work and it's getting done right. And that making sure he's being seen every single day is critical to jobs and work getting done effectively. But then also it keeps him aware of what's actually going on in a way that you can't just with reports.
Yeah.
And I think that we both learn more in the 10 minutes of how do we solve this problem, of throwing ourselves into the fire of how do we record and how do we want to record this, that we could have if we talked about it for a day and a half.
Right,
without experiencing it.
And now the other clips of podcasts and things that I've seen, it's like, okay, now I understand why they sit the way that they do and why their chairs are angled a particular way they are and all of those things.
Yeah, we learned more in 10 minutes than we would have from an hour and a half lesson on this.
Like I remember during proselyting time that I spent and bringing people into bringing potential investigators to a church and working with those local church leaders and them not being willing to give us enough space for the people that we were bringing in to give to teach a Sunday school class.
Oh, interesting.
And so what we did is we made sure that we had a good number of investigators at the building, and then we invited all of the other foreign missionaries and everybody else. We just crammed this room full so that it was standing room only.
Oh, wow.
And then we also invited one of the local leaders to come into the room, and when he's looking around, he's like, "Oh, I'll get you guys a better room."
Not a problem until he experiences the problem.
Sometimes you just have to be there and experience it, and being there physically present can make all the difference. It's like, I know, like going out on, you're running a construction company as well, like going out on the job site and seeing what the crews were dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and like, oh, well, what could I do to bring a little more pleasantness to this experience? If they're out in the wind and the dirt and the weather, or like how can things be adjusted? What protective equipment do they need, or different things like that? And like, unless you're out there seeing it, and that's one of the things I'm really excited about with AI, because as AI is able to help us reduce the amount of mundane tasks we do, like data entry and things and such, and basic reports, and like it leaves us more time to be able to do those more human endeavors.
Right. Yeah.
And I think it's that partnership where we're able to be out having conversations with real people and doing things that AI can't, allowing AI to do things that it's actually better at than we are. Is like, and we see this. The companies that are embracing these new technologies are seeing growth that those who are unwilling to do anything with it aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, I just had a conversation with with a leadership team, and the business owner has been very, very against bringing AI into the business.
Oh, okay.
And they don't have enough time to get everything done. They have more work than what they can handle.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it's like, okay, so you have more work that you can handle. And then I asked the leadership team, what's the number one thing that keeps you from getting your work done? And every single one of them said an interruption of some kind. So they're essentially CFO. They don't use these titles, but they're acting CFO said the thing that kept her from getting her work done was interruptions. Like, well, how many calls a day do you get? She's like, I probably get 10 calls a day they're just distractions. Right. Their service manager said it's distractions. It's like there's all kinds of different things. Another one, their operations manager said calls from techs, like helping with diagnosis. Like, that's the thing that keeps me from doing these other jobs that I have. And I was there for their leadership meeting at the beginning, and like saw their list of to-dos and all the things that they hadn't gotten done the prior week because one of their employees, because they lost one of their employees, one of their key employees, and so they were all scrambling and they weren't able to get things done. But they have all these distractions on top of it that keep them from going, and that's where we had a real conversation. It's like, if you get AI to do this and this and this and this that AI is much better at than we can be, much faster, then doesn't that leave you time to get done these other things that AI can't do? And that mindset shift that he had is like, oh, yeah, I probably need to, like, he realized that he needed to back off from his hard stance against using AI.
Yeah. Once that perspective shifts, that it's not just Terminator coming to destroy.
Yeah.
But it actually can come in and do specific jobs really efficiently. In the same way that email came in and did jobs really efficiently. Yeah. Far better than phone calls and sending traditional mail did.
Yeah.
And I know years ago you told me about a company that had adopted email. And to this day, I still crack up over it because they had, for the entire company, and this was a big company, I don't know if you remember this, but they were a big company, and they had one employee dedicated to receiving the email, and then they would print the email off. And
yes, I do remember this company.
And she would set the email as a paper copy on each person's desk.
Yeah, this is like a $50+ million a year company.
And not that many years ago.
No, not that. It was in the Yeah, this was in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Mid and late 2000s. Like, actually, no.
That's like
It
would
wasn't
have been
the
in the teens. Yeah,
it wasn't the teens. Yeah, it was still in the teens.
So
they did
12 years ago.
They didn't adopt email until like 2008. And they still had an at AOL. For this big company at AOL.
And one employee.
That did all the emails.
Hey, here's your emails, Bob. Here's your emails, Jerry.
They treated it like a fax machine.
And then Jerry hands back his response, and she goes, plugs it in, and sends
Yes. Yeah, not a small company.
That is innovation at its finest.
Like, talk about being unwilling to adapt. We're gonna have to use that. We're gonna have to use that as like talk about not being willing to adopt the tool, the latest tools.
Right.
Be like a framer not using a nail gun.
Oh yeah, it'd be absurd.
Like I'm not even gonna use a hammer. I got a rock. Nail, rock.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. But we let our human experiences from our past hold us back from opportunities of the future as well. And so this thing that is our benefit that differentiates us from AI turns around and also cuts ourselves off at the knees if we're not careful.
Well, you have to do it right like when you're integrating AI into your business, if you don't have a good system to build it on top of, all you're doing is scaling chaos.
Right.
And the AI will actually make things worse, which is why it's like I've heard a number of different stats over the last several months. Like 70% of AI implementations completely fail. It's like you got to put the underlying structures in place first to be able to do something manually before you can automate it.
So I was talking to a guy in when was it? I think it was April of this year, not that long ago. One of the bigger companies that it's not well known by like everyone retail, but in the business world, it is well known in their industry. Like it is the number one in their industry, and many of the Fortune large companies use this company for their service.
Okay.
That company was having him be one of the leaders on the AI implementation team.
Okay.
And so he's helping get AI integrated into everything. And they got one of the big ones, one of the big AI companies, and they had budgets that everyone gets. But they didn't start off with budgets. But then one day, this guy, one of their employees, who knows who, just one of the employees, decided he was going to do this project, and he started the AI to go out and start doing data analysis. And I think that he had, from what my buddy told me, this employee went out and had the AI start digesting almost the entire internet and blew like 20,000 tokens in a matter of hours. And they realized, this is a good learning moment. Maybe we need some guardrails and parameters and structure before we just give everyone AI and let them do whatever they think is cool with AI. Because that guy was going to analyze the entirety of the internet.
You've got to train the people. Like, and unfortunately, we are still in the kind of the wild, wild west of it, where everybody claims to be an expert, and they've had all of
a year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe.
Well, like a 5-hour course.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like those are the people I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
That get on social media and claim that they can help you with whatever, and they have no basis in business in the first place. So they don't even know what good looks like.
Yeah.
Let alone what it really takes to automate anything and not create more chaos. Which I think, again, this is why a lot of these things fail, and why some people are so against it, because they've seen it fail catastrophically.
Yeah.
But that doesn't have to be the case. Like there's a way to go about and do it correctly, and it does start with that human element. Like what does a human see? How does a human do this process? How can you do it with paper?
Yeah.
Like paper and pencil. Like how do you make this happen as manually as possible? Then what softwares are available? What can you pull off the shelf? What can you do to speed up aspects of it?
Mm-hmm. And what's amazing to me is AI is really good at mimicking a human's ability to make a logic decision. In confines, and as long as you've identified all the variables that matter, then it does a really good job. Traditional computers, they're not good at that.
Right.
But what's cool is we've built all this software for decades, and we can still use those software tools. We don't have to throw them all away.
Right.
But what we can do is we can inject AI into some of the decision points that humans used to have to make, and let AI do a lot of the legwork. And then you can either have AI make the decision or have AI send it off for human approval. And you can cut down the amount of time a human takes on that task and still maintain or improve quality because you injected AI into that piece in the right spot.
In the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a discussion on AI. When was it? It wasn't maybe 3 months ago or so. And you asked me in that conversation if I had seen any instances where people could use agentic AI effectively. And at that point, unless you were extremely techie, the answer was no. Fast forward 3 months,
Yeah.
all over the place. Agentic AI has now reached this saturation point, both in its maturity as a software, but also in the marketplace, that it's being used by non-techie people all day, every day in really efficient ways. So it's amazing to me the leap that we went in 3 or so, 2 or 3 months from no, it's still so early development to, yep, it's mature, people use it all the time.
Yes. Well, some people use it all the time.
Yeah, not everyone.
But there's still so many out there that see it as like the next great evil or what, or like dehumanizing. And again, my invitation to people is think about how AI can help us to be more human by taking away the minutia that we would otherwise need to deal with to grow our businesses, and giving us more freedom to do the things that AI can't do.
Right. Yeah, I was one of my kids, one of their teachers grappled with the idea of use AI, don't use AI, use AI, don't use AI. And they said, you can use AI, that's fine. If AI writes your paper and you don't do the things you're supposed to, you're going to get a lousy grade. But here's the other things we're going to grade you on. First, I want you to document the research that you go out and do that you're going to feed to the AI. Second, I want you to push back and forth and to actually type the rough draft content of what you think should go into it, and then work with AI to get the final product. So what they went for, instead of making it a thing of whether or not AI did it, I did it, she's trying to teach them how do you use AI as just one more tool in that writing process. And because of the technology that they're using, she can monitor what gets written, when it gets written, how fast it gets written.
Oh, okay.
And so she knows whether AI just spit the whole thing out and they pasted it in, and or if they're going through all the steps that she outlined. And so she can give them a grade based on whether they're learning the process rather
Of
than
working with it then.
Right.
Well, because we've got a neighbor whose son was flunked out of a class. I think an English class in high school, and the excuse given to the parents, at least this is one side of the story, I don't know how accurate any of this is, but was his writing improved significantly from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
And so he must have used AI.
He must have used AI because he's not that smart.
And then what they did is they ran his papers through an AI detection program, and it said that he used AI to write his papers. Well, I have a neighbor who is a published author, and he's been using AI to help edit manuscripts and things for the books that he writes. And he ran through like 6 different AI detection programs. He took some stuff that he'd written years ago.
Okay.
Like before ChatGPT was even a thing.
Yeah.
And then he took stuff that was written 100% by AI. So like he took 2 different stories, and he ran them through these 6 different detection programs. They didn't work.
Wow.
Half the time, half of them said that his story that was written years and years ago was AI, and the one that was fully AI based was legit.
Oh man.
The one that was closest to being accurate said that there was a 15% chance the fully AI written story was AI based, and a 30% chance that his story that he wrote like 10 years prior was AI based.
Amazing.
And so like I again, this is somewhat anecdotal. I mean, it's not like they had a a big, huge research budget, but just running through what he did, it doesn't, we have to learn how to integrate with it instead of treat it like the enemy.
Exactly. Yep, it's yet one more innovation to layer in. And if you don't, you're missing out on the opportunities that it brings to the market.
Yeah.
And the competition that does layer that in has the advantage of the opportunities that they took advantage of that you as a business didn't.
Yeah, which at the end of the day, if they're able to deliver more value more quickly
at a better price,
they
win.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out how that's going to work. And have you ever met a rocket scientist?
Have I ever?
I actually have. I worked with a rocket scientist.
You worked for a rocket scientist?
I worked with a rocket scientist.
Oh, with? Oh,
yes.
Okay, not for.
Not doing rocket science. He was retired. He was a former rocket scientist. And anyway, so anytime I said, doesn't take a rocket scientist, it's like, every time I say that, it's like, oh yeah, I worked with a rocket scientist.
I don't think I've ever worked with a rocket scientist. No.
But to think of at one point, that was like the pinnacle of innovation that everybody was so excited about was being a rocket scientist. Like today, it's like it doesn't. I mean, what should the day? Is it an AI scientist? I don't even know.
Yeah,
like what is pinnacle?
I don't know. But going off from that, I did once meet a guy who got his PhD in dance. Yeah.
Is this like...
This is legitimate.
Is this like a BS degree to...
like a master's?
To an MS degree to a pile higher and deeper?
Legitimately, yes. He got his his PhD in dance.
At the end of the day, though, it's like... That's what the prosperity that we enjoy because of division of labor and because of these tools that we have that can be a thing.
Right? Yeah.
I think that at the end of the day, as weird as like one part of me says it is, it's something that probably should be celebrated.
And he made a living.
That exists, yeah.
And he made a living from that degree, which is incredible in my mind because dance is purely entertainment at best. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes
it's not even really durable.
Right.
Like a sculpture or a painting.
Right. Yeah, it is the most fleeting of services in that as soon as it's been taught, it's gone, or as soon as it's been performed, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's consumed on creation. Uh-huh. And yet he was able to go to the highest levels of education, get a degree in that, and then make a healthy living because of that education. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, well, I guess it is a sign. I mean, you think about the greatest structures, the greatest artwork, the greatest things throughout history is like it always comes after the prosperity. Mm-hmm. It doesn't that kind of stuff doesn't get created during times of poverty.
No, it doesn't. It is always humanity takes the wealth that we've accumulated, built, and then we level up on the humanities side as a byproduct because we've achieved something so great on this side that we're looking for ways to add satisfaction on that more humanistic side. So really AI should lift that playing field or raise the what do they say, the rising tide lifts all boats.
All boats, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to do that same thing. It's going to sink some boats that won't adapt to it. But it's going to raise the ones that stay
tied to the pier, and as the water level goes up, they...
Right. Yeah, it'll absolutely do that to people, the ones that choose to not adapt to it. Mm-hmm. But by and large, society is going to prosper in ways we can't imagine. And then from that, we'll have more opportunities to express that humanities, humanistic side of ourselves, both because we'll have more time and potentially far greater wealth. I was talking to someone the other day, and they're talking, what was it? I think someone was talking about how hard it is and being homeless and all that. And yet I see homeless people walking around with smartphones. And you rewind 200 years, and the wealthiest people in the world couldn't imagine the technology that the homeless now enjoy.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's easy to be homeless, and a lot of the homeless have horrible conditions and horrible situations. But the level of what it meant to be homeless 100 years ago versus what it means now is even the homeless live better than the people that had homes a couple hundred years ago.
Many of them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's only going to continue. Like it's a time to be excited about. And if you're going to complain about anything, it's not being born 20 or 30 years later.
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be great to be a kid right now, except for all the cameras are watching everything you do. I think that we may have been the generation that had it best, because as kids, there were no cameras recording all the fun activities.
Not quite yet, no.
But now that we're adults, we get to enjoy all the benefits of technology, whereas kids now don't get the freedom to have fun in the same way without the consequences.
Everything's a helicopter.
Exactly.
Everything's watched.
Yep, all the time. And it's not even malicious things. It would just be playing in natural kid ways that they don't get as much of anymore. So, well, I think we're almost out of. We are. We're past time.
All right. Well,
thanks for a great discussion. We'll see y'all next time.